sort of using iris as a means to poetically sort of think about the connections between seeing and smelling, or our sensory experiences of the world. Because I think it's interesting to think about the eye and the nose as sort of ways that the world enters our bodies and the way that we enter the world. So if we think about an object in space, a sculptural form or any form, for me it's really meaningful to imagine that an object extends beyond its physical edge into space by way of these molecules rising off of it. When we smell something, we are encountering an object. So I think it's also kind of this beautiful idea of thinking about a sculpture that enters the body. So yeah, I love this idea of it being a sculpture that penetrates the viewer in a way that's somehow unexpected. And space, it sort of fills space. So in a way, this small vessel here, this kind of locked up turning liquid, once released or if released, kind of fills a huge volume of architecture. This element in the work is a vessel containing a fragrance, and it's a fragrance that has been produced with a really interesting technology called headspace technology, used in the fragrance industry in order to entrap the emanations, the material coming off of the object, the volatile molecules rising from a thing, anything, and then entrap those and then in a laboratory seek to replicate them. So what we have here is this sort of ever-turning, ever-moving liquid in a vessel. And this fragrance is the result of using headspace technology on three, let's say, expressions of iris. So what you see here are three forms, three elements that are having their fragrance or their scent entrapped and captured, the emanations rising off them. So we have this umbrella, we have a camera lens, and an iris. So in this bell jar, the iris is entrapped, and there is a pump which is then removing the emanations, the rising molecules from the object, and entrapping them in a material which is then taken into a laboratory to be analyzed and then made synthetically. So the iris quite clearly speaks to the plant. I was really interested in thinking about how we might entrap, the smell of a camera lens. And so it has an iris as part of its functioning kind of mechanism. And that cameras are kind of caught up in visual experience or entrapping images, I found really interesting. And then it's an Olympus lens, Mount Olympus is the mountain to which Iris, the goddess, was a messenger. So there's another lovely kind of connection in that sense. And then the umbrella is, it's a Japanese umbrella called a Janome, and this translates to snake eye. It's called a snake eye umbrella. And I've had this produced to match the color of my own iris. We're entrapping the smell rising off of this Janome, this snake eye umbrella, in the form of my iris. This work that I'm standing in front of right now is made up of these quite dramatically large incense sticks, which I realized with a 380-year-old company in Japan, in Kyoto, called Shuedo. This is really the object that both kind of visually holds the most space in the gallery, but also holds the most invisible space through its odor, filling the room and kind of spilling out into different parts of the museum as well. So yeah, it's an iris incense, and incense has an interesting history. It has been used as a timekeeping device. So often services were related to how long it would take to burn an incense stick. And there are over 1,000 of these sticks that line 2 galleries. If you burn them consecutively, it would be the lifespan of an iris plant, an iris bulb. It's science meets poetry, it's kind of alchemy. Yeah, it offers all of these kind of beautiful propositions for making.